Well, Cognizant, the IT consulting and outsourcing firm, has reported a slightly lower than expected earnings outcome. This is for the Q4 2020 outcome. In Q4 2020, the revenue has been slightly lower than expected, and that is on account of the impact of anticipated exit from a customer engagement in continental Europe and exit from certain content services. That has led to Q4 revenue at $4.2 billion, which is down nearly around 3% YOY in constant currency terms. For the entire full year, the revenue stood at $16.7 billion. This was down nearly around 0.7% YOY in constant currency terms. Q4 financial services business, that forms close to around 31% of the total revenues, that is down nearly around 11.4% in constant currency terms, and this is largely on account of the impact on account of the exit from customer engagement in continental Europe. Having said that, if we are taking a read through for the Indian IT industry, well, so far across the board, all the IT earnings reported by the Indian firms have shown good growth in the BFSI segment, and also large firms like TCS and Infosys have guided for a double-digit growth. So from that perspective, I would say that Cognizant earnings are slightly a non-event for the Indian IT companies. In fact, further, if you look at the earnings, Cognizant has guided for a revenue growth of 4 to 7% in constant currency terms for 2021. This translates into $17.6 to $18.1 billion of revenue growth in 2021. Q1 revenue growth guidance stands at nearly around 1 to 2% in constant currency terms. If we are looking at the earnings in terms of the various verticals, financial services, of course, has been under pressure, along with pressure in terms of the products and resources for Cognizant. As I said earlier, financial services is down 11.4% YOY in constant currency terms. This is on account of the one-time exit that they have done in continental Europe. But besides that, products and resources, which forms nearly around 23% of their overall revenue mix, that is down 2.4%. The management in the press release has stated that the decline was driven by retail, consumer segments, travel and hospitality clients that were adversely impacted on account of the pandemic. However, they have stated that within the products and resources segment, they have seen double-digit constant currency growth in manufacturing, logistics, energy and utilities. The other segments, for instance, healthcare as well as the communication media vertical, have done good. Healthcare vertical forms 30% of the overall revenues. That has grown 3.3% in constant currency terms on a YOY basis, and communication media vertical has grown 3.4%. So overall, if I'm looking at the Cognizant earnings, well, it's a slightly subdued quarter for them, with a okay kind of a guidance for the next year. But for the Indian IT services, it would be largely a non-event, as TCS, Infosys and quite a lot of other firms expect a double-digit growth already into the next financial year. And also we have seen strong growth coming in the BFSI segment for most of the IT players.